Hi everyone, this is a free clearing and today we are going to do a clearing that's going to kind of lead up to a series that I want to do around the narcissist empath relationship and dynamic. And today I just want to start off with a general clearing on any energy, any place, any experience that you are having or may have had in the past where you feel bullied or criticized or judged for who you are or how you live or how you choose to live your life. And I really want to clear that with going deeper into any kind of insecurity or need for approval or any place where you have learned to make yourself wrong. And that insecurity, making yourself wrong, need for approval is like this wound that attracts in those bullying, criticizing, judging, assessing kind of relationships. And so a lot of the narcissist empath connection is based on wounds on both sides. And I want to start off the series with this clearing today because not everyone is in a narcissist empath type of relationship, although many of you may have experienced that, but you may be in a scenario where because of some insecurity or some self-doubt or some feeling of maybe there is something wrong with me someplace in the back of the mind, you're attracting in a situation or situations, or for some of you it may even be a theme or a pattern for you, where someone seems to keep showing up telling you that you're wrong, how you're doing things, how you're making choices, what you're choosing to focus on, what you're choosing to engage in, who you're choosing to partner with is wrong. So let's go ahead and connect in and see what we need to clear around this. So I'm just going to have you relax your body for a moment, close your eyes, take a breath. We're going to start with a little prayer of intention. I'm going to do the same. So I would like to call upon and invoke or bring forth the very highest vibration of source energy, which is love. To step into this clearing, I'd like to ask that all of the beings who are working with us come forward with ease, that any negative or limiting themes, challenges, choices, or programs that need to be clear easily and effortlessly, and that I remain neutral and clear. And so it is. And so let's go ahead and I'm going to connect myself to your high self committee. So I want to know if I'm working with myself, listeners, high self, or both. Nobody. So there are some blocks here to receiving, to benefiting from the session. So where are we going? So we're going to start with an energy of frustration, energies of hardship, energies of rejection of self, the belief that in order to be liked or loved or included by others, that I need to appease other people by presenting myself the way that they present themselves, do what they are doing, have their schedule, wear the same types of clothes, have the same type of hair, blah, 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 blah. So this is rejection of self. So I want to know if we can release it. Let's go ahead and let this go for the moment. And let's look at any kinds of vows, contracts, oaths, agreements, or obligations that you're holding from any experience, any lifetime, even ancestral lineage, where there is an agreement or some sort of a commitment on some level to reject oneself and take on the characteristics of others. So this is related to guilt, helplessness, abandonment of self, energies of spiritual suicide, energies of self-pity, and energies of regret. And so I'm going to ask if this is enough to clear it, and I'm getting a yes, so I'm going to go ahead and let that release for all of you, and myself included. It's the beautiful thing about doing this work is that as I'm clearing it, anything that I have a match to is also getting released. So it's very rewarding for all of us. So let's go ahead and look at now. Am I working with myself, listeners, high self, or both? Now, both. Does anyone have a block to receiving or benefiting? No. How long for my prep, myself, listeners prep their high self? Let's apply it now. Whole prep to work list. Let's just download everyone who is connecting in to this recording at any time, doesn't matter when, with all of the most leading edge information, wisdom, light, understanding, expanded possibilities, all potentials and possibilities of working with source energy, that higher intelligence of love, wisdom, light, and understanding. And let's go ahead and release any resistance that you have to healing this. So there's a fear that's popping up here that if I release this, then I'll be alone. I won't have anyone in my life. And so let's see where that's coming from. This is a program of hate of self established in a past life within a group. The resulting energy is insecurity, helplessness, isolation, overwhelm, and self-doubt. So can we clear it? Yes, let's go ahead and let it go. Okay, so no other blocks to receiving or benefiting. To what degree is everyone who is listening directly connected to their physical body, fully grounded in their life? Now, let's look at some of the roots of feeling bullied, criticized, mistreated in relationships with others. There's an energy here of subservience, a disappointment in oneself, energies of judgment of self. So we're starting with places where you have been bullying yourself, judging yourself, criticizing yourself, and that other person is coming in as a mirror, is really an extension or reflection of that. So this is the first thing that we want to release. Where does this come from, or how do I best clear this for the group consciousness of anyone listening? This is an imprint of a program of hate of self that was established in a past life within a group. What's activated here? Judgment of self. So wherever you were taught as a little child, as a teenager, or as an adult from any lifetime, or through the ancestral lineage, to judge and criticize and reject and hate yourself, we want to go ahead and release that. So I want to know what's holding it in place. The energy of making other people happy. If I do this, then I fit in, I get along with the group, I'm self-deprecating, I kind of kick myself when I'm down, and then I'm a match to others. So can we clear that? Let's clear all associations with that pattern. Where else is the belief for anyone listening that in order to be loved and accepted and included, they have to judge, criticize, bully themselves? This is an energy of exhaustion from a past life within a group. The resulting energy is a feeling of helplessness. So can we clear it? Yeah, let's release it now. Just gonna let this unwind. So let's just have you take a nice deep breath, release it whenever you're ready. Just want to let this go because there's a certain amount of tension that you're holding in your body that's corresponding to this pattern. And so I just want you to notice wherever you're feeling that tightness. So I'm getting, for some of you, this is really in your shoulders, your neck. You could feel this in your heart space, your solar plexus. This is where there's a part of you that wants to be shut down, wants to be hidden. Feeling like you're not good enough. And so where else is this located? This is an energy of victimization and brutality towards self, originally established in a past life with a group. There's an energy here of injustice, abuse, and poverty. Let's release it. Anything else I need to know about that? To what degree has that been resolved? Now, where else do we have roots of attracting in the experience of being bullied or criticized or mistreated? Again, we're back to the program of hate of self. So let's look at all of the different manifestations of hate of self, or wherever it's rooted, wherever we have roots. Rooted in where? Clear it from below the incarnational pathways. This is related to levels of consciousness. Clear it through the level of consciousness called Ascended Master. Clear it through the level of consciousness called the Live Life. Where else does anyone have a program, a vow, an agreement to hate themselves. There's an energy here of rejection of self. And this is rooted from previous experiences of trying to be better, trying to be good. If I admit that I'm great, that I love myself, maybe I'll stop trying. So this is a really old paradigm of thought, and it's not helping. Basically, that's the point. It's not really helping. It's not a good way of improving, to tear yourself down, to not allow yourself to feel good about who you are or what you've accomplished or your perspective or your point of view in the name of trying to improve. Let's bring in the understanding that you already know how to improve without needing to hate yourself, to tear yourself down, to be constantly judging or criticizing yourself. Let's go ahead and bring that in, and let's release all of the frustration around that pattern. Now, many of you receive this pattern, I'm seeing, through mother's genetic lineage. A lot of this energy is around hate of self, abuse of self, paranoia, especially around appearances, and energies of disappointment in self. Let's go ahead and pull that. Let's pull up any kind of shock, pain, trauma from any experience where you believed that you were a disappointment to others. 779 experiences are coming up related to what? Victimization, frustration, resistance, disappointment, paranoia, anger, and helplessness. Is this enough to clear it? Let's release it. Just gonna let that unwind for your being. Now, what are we bringing in to replace all of this? Let's download strength. Let's download love, optimism, love of self, involvement, relaxation, forgiveness of self, forgiveness of others. Let's download trust, and let's download vitality. Where else is there a root of attracting in experiences of being bullied, criticized, or mistreated? Anyone else running an energy here of insecurity? What about a need or a belief that one has to make themselves wrong? Yes, particularly around others. So that's that self-deprecating energy. So this is an inheritance program of anxiety, loneliness, abuse, abandonment of self, abuse of self, hardship, disappointment, and panic, originally from a past life. The resulting energy is frustration, fatigue, victimization, and rejection. Is this enough to clear it? Let's release it. Clear soul programs. And let's clear blocks to receiving, clear blocks to relaxation, clear blocks to pleasure and purpose. Okay, now there's another little shred of energy coming up here, a little pattern that I want to address. And this is where there's a belief here that you don't really have a purpose, that you were a mistake. This could be a belief that you've been holding at some level of your being. Somebody could have said this to you. You could have overheard this and taken it in on a subconscious level, especially as a little child. And of course, this happens sometimes. You know, parents will say, you weren't planned for, it was a mistake. But when that comes in and that enters into the subconscious, we can do a lot with it, especially as we have other types of programs similar to what we're clearing today. And you could have made that mean something that's actually quite damaging to your own being. So let's just look at this. Any place where anyone who is listening believes they're a mistake, and then maybe a disappointment, maybe a burden, maybe difficult, what is that? There's an energy here of self-pity, exhaustion, loneliness, guilt, frustration, abuse of self, anxiety, and persecution. Where does this come from originally? Past life within a group situation. The resulting energy is hardship, disappointment in self, believing that you're a disappointment to others, feeling like you're a letdown. I think that's the biggest energy. There's a vulnerability around this idea where it's opening up this space for you to receive negative experiences. What else? Energies of rage, judgment towards self, and paranoia. Can we clear it? Let's release it now. Let's clear all self-punishment, dysfunction of mind, experiences the process, and all miscellaneous items. So what is it that we need to have brought in or downloaded to our beings? Love of self. So let's go ahead and bring this in. So just want you to let this really flow into your being, all the cells of your body, all the levels of your being, all areas of your life. This energy of what it feels like and how to truly love your authentic self, who you are, just you, not doing anything, not accomplishing anything, not doing anything for others, just you sitting on the couch, being fully present, are worthy of love, are worthy of support, of attention, of consideration, of compassion. All of the above. What else? Let's bring in the energy of self-control. Not going ahead and abandoning yourself and taking on the perspectives, the projections, the points of view of others as somehow more valid, more intelligent, more worthy, more wise than your own intuition. Of course, you can listen to other people's opinion, think about it, weigh it with your own intuition, do some self-reflection. But this energy of just jumping ship on self, abandoning your own truth, or not even really knowing what it is, to take on other people's way of being, how they believe you should be doing things. Let's clear all blocks to responsibility toward oneself, clear blocks to determination, clear blocks to trusting self, and let's clear blocks to strength. Now, this doesn't mean that you won't make mistakes. We all make mistakes, right? We all do things that we think, in retrospect, I probably shouldn't have done that. But so do all of the people who are giving you advice about what you should be doing, right? They've all made mistakes. We've all made mistakes as part of the human experience. And so let's just look at any place where you're judging yourself around that. So let's clear appeasement of others and anxiety held on self. Let's clear violence towards self through abandoning, through the energy of overwhelm, through the energy of rejection of self, and regretting your past. Any place else where anyone believes that they don't know what they're doing, they don't deserve love, or that they deserve to be bullied, criticized, or mistreated. No, let's give everybody a boost. Now, just to top this off, I just want to look at how many blocks to your own authentic, honest expression and being able to communicate that to others. So let's clear all blocks to optimism on that. And how many blocks are we looking at here? Not too bad. 112. So what's the energy around this? Self-doubt, frustration towards self, energies of spiritual suicide, self-pity, energies of regret, and energies of persecution. So can we clear it out now? So because that persecution piece is there, what that's telling me is you may have had past experiences where you did express your authentic self and you were rejected and you were persecuted. Okay, so let's just pull that up right now, those wounds, and let's look at what's going on. There's a program of anxiety, fear of change, hardship, fear of expression, and energies of disappointment. Disappointment in self, disappointment in others. Disappointment in how people received that expression. And so I want to know if we can clear it. Let's go ahead and release it. Where else is there a theme, a challenge, a choice, a program, a block to authentic expression? Where's there a desperation or a need for approval that's blocking authentic self-expression? Let's clear the program of suicide, hate, energies of loneliness, and energies of brain damage or confusion. Give everybody a little spiritual kick, a little wrap in the head to let that go, releasing any resistance to heal. Let's apply brain tuner, balancing the energies of the mind. Download Star of David. Download the color orange. This is strengthening. This is solar plexus, strengthening self. Also yellow. Let's bring this into the solar plexus. Now, normally orange would be more of a sacral chakra, but what they're telling me to do is apply orange and yellow to the solar plexus. So just want you to breathe that in. Imagine this energy of orange and yellow light just going into the solar plexus area, infusing that energy center with orange and yellow light, creating a strengthening in the core of your being. Let's download the color gold. Again, balancing energies of the mind. So let's take all of the projections, the perceptions, the points of view you've taken on from others about you, who you are. So people saying, oh, you're too relaxed, you're lazy, or you work too hard, you're too driven, you're overly ambitious, any of that energy. Let's just send it back to them with consciousness and love attached so they can have their own healing. And what we want to bring in for you is self-esteem, having esteem for yourself, respecting and loving yourself. Let's download order to your day-to-day life, order to the mind. Let's download prosperity, creativity, giving you freedom. Download freedom to have your own authentic expression. Let's download harmony with others, harmony in relationships, and let's download self-preservation. Now, is there anything else I need to clear or download? Is there anything more to do? Is there anything else I need to bring in? Any place else where anyone who is listening believes that they have to apologize or make excuses for who they are, how they want to live their day-to-day life, who they choose to love, who they choose to date, who they choose to be friends with, who they choose to associate with. No, let's give everybody a boost. And so let's go ahead now and apply the mop-up list, clear the 9 stacks. I want to thank myself, listeners, high self, all of the beings working with us, bringing forth light, releasing any darkness, limitation, and fear. And so what I am being told is for you to take a moment and fully appreciate you, who you are, all that you've lived, all that you've experienced, the expression of your physical body, the expression of your mind, the expression of your spirit, the expression of your emotions. Everything about you is exactly as it's meant to be right now in this moment. And you are the creator of your experience. You're the creator of your life. You can live it however you choose to. And so we want to let go of this energy of making yourself wrong and by extension attracting in people who would try to make you wrong, try to bully you, try to say that there's something wrong with you. So we're going to wrap it up for today. I hope that you feel lighter. I hope that you feel clearer and more connected to yourself. And I will definitely be back next week with another free clearing. Bye for now.